dog nuggets. It's not Carl. Just kidding, it is me, Carl. Ha ha ha. Opposite day. Gotcha. Ha ha. Welcome to JKTV. Sometimes I crack myself up. Another episode of the greatest TV show on this planet I call Planet. Boy oh boy do we have a show for you. I was doing my research last night when I came across an amazing fact. Multiple crazy facts actually. Like for example, did you know that your nostrils only work one at a time? Isn't that wacky? Go on, try it. It's impossible. Oh yeah. Or did you know that Scotland's national animal is a unicorn? Really, I'm not joking. Google it! Go on! Just kidding! Put down your phones, you rascals! But what fact really blew my mind is that people all around the world believe in things they can't see! You hear how ridiculous that sounds? I mean, imagine being a person who believes in things they can't see! How weird of a person would you have to be?
Hey, Carl.
Oh, hey there, Ned! How are you doing?
Good. I was just hoping to talk to someone who doesn't believe in things they can't see.
Ned, that's exactly what we were talking about!
No way, that's crazy. Also, Carl, how can you say that just because you can't see something it's not real?
Because that's the truth. Name one thing that I can't see that is real.
Okay, feelings.
Those aren't real.
Carl, I think you smell like day-old cereal and your sweater is ugly. Did that hurt your feelings?
Feelings? What feelings? I have none.
Okay, what about gravity?
Gravity? If gravity were real, would this happen? Oh! Ah! Ow! Oh! Oh, you tricked me. Next one.
How about air?
Air? Air? Haha, I'll show you air. Okay. What else do you got?
Alright, how about Jesus?
Jesus? Of course Jesus is real.
So, you've seen Jesus?
Pictures and, paintings.
You've touched Jesus?
With my beautiful words in prayer. Probably.
Carl.
What are you getting at, Ned?
Easy. I'm just saying that you may have the wrong idea about this whole see it to believe it thing.
What makes you so sure? Because it sounds like the opposite should be true. Believe only what you can see.
But that's where faith comes in.
What do you mean?
Faith. It's the confidence in what we hope for. It doesn't have to be seen. Let's look at the Transfiguration.
The Transfigure-what-y?
Transfiguration. It's in Luke chapter 9.
Alright, what happened?
Well, Jesus took James, John, and Peter up to the mountain to pray.
Sounds pretty normal.
Then, when Jesus began to pray, his face changed.
Not so normal.
And then his clothes became as bright as lightning.
Yeah, not normal.
Then suddenly, Moses and Elijah incredibly showed up before them.
Wait, Moses and Elijah? Like the prophets Moses and Elijah? Didn't they die a long time ago? What's happening?
Then Peter got super nervous, started talking, and then God speaks and says this: "This is my son, whom I have chosen. Listen to him."
Well, I can't imagine being there. With the disciples? With the prophets? With Jesus? Imagine getting to be with Jesus all the time. How cool would that be?
Right? I mean, Carl, what would you do if Jesus was always with you?
Oh man, what wouldn't I do? If I knew Jesus, the creator of the world, the savior of all humankind, was with me forever, I'd chase my dreams. I'd stand up for what's right. I'd be the bravest and most honorable man, and most humble to ever live.
Okay, well, I have good news.
Is it Beans Day again?
No. The good news is that Jesus is with you forever.
What are you talking about?
Even though they saw the miracles in Transfiguration, the disciples never fully understood who Jesus was. Jesus didn't suddenly become God's son. He always was. But it was on that mountain that the disciples knew for sure. They saw the truth with their own eyes.
But I wasn't on that mountain, Ned. How does that work for me?
That's where faith kicks in. We don't see Jesus with our eyes, but because of what the Bible tells us, we can believe that he is real, and he is God's son, and that he's always with us.
Oh, that makes sense. I mean, I always believed in Jesus, but I never knew what to say to people who asked me for proof. So I drew this picture of Jesus, but it didn't really help them.
Huh? I'm shocked. It's such an accurate depiction.
I know, right? I guess I could go talk to them about having faith, right?
Of course, our faith will become so much stronger once we realize that Jesus is with us even though we can't see him.
Hey Journey kids, that was such a cool story, right? And we've got a wonderful big idea as well.
Sarah?
Yes, Carl?
It's just, since it's opposite day and all, we were thinking, you know.
You were thinking...
It's just, well...
We want to do the big idea!
Oh, well, of course. Be my guest.
Yay!
Okay, what are we supposed to say?
Today's big idea is...
Today's big idea is...
Jesus is with us.
Is with us.
Even though
we can't see him. Nailed it.
All right, great work, Carl and Ned. Thanks for helping us. So Journey kids, why don't you say it with me and we'll practice it as well. Okay? I'm going to count backwards. 3, 2, 1.
Jesus is with us even though we can't see him.
Oh, awesome job, everyone.
Hey, what's the opposite of tight quarters?
Tight quarters. Not sure.
Loose change.
I like your new hairdo, Lily. Looking good. Okay, here's one for you. What's the opposite of stand-up comedy?
No idea. You got me there.
A sitcom?
Oh. That's a good one.
Hey friends, I have to be quiet because it's bedtime and everyone is asleep. I should be sleeping too, but sometimes at bedtime I just want to stay awake, which is the opposite of sleeping. Do you ever feel that way? I try to make myself tired by counting sheep in my head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The sheep in my imagination started dancing, and that made me want to dance. And before I knew it, I was dancing along to the sheep hop on my bed.
Shake, shake, rock and roll. Shake, shake, rock and roll. Shake, shake, rock and roll. Shake, shake, rock and roll.
Then, my mom said to turn off the lights, be quiet, and go to sleep. So that didn't work. Then, I tried to make myself tired by thinking about what I would have to do tomorrow. But that thought turned into what I might wear tomorrow. And before I knew it, bam! I was at the Cali Fashion Extravaganza, and I was walking the runway up and down my bed and posing for pictures. And my mom said to turn off the lights, be quiet, and go to sleep. I guess I should turn off my flashlight and really try to get some sleep. Oh, there is one really cool thing about my room when it's dark that always makes me feel calm and maybe even tired. Watch this. Isn't that awesome? All these stars were there all along. We just couldn't see them until the lights were completely out. I'm gonna gaze at the stars while we check our Bible story for today.
It's time for today's Bible story. Today's story is from the book of Luke, chapter 9. One day, Jesus took 3 of his disciples, Peter, James, and John, and walked up a mountain to pray. While Jesus was praying, something amazing happened. Jesus began to shine as bright as a star in the sky. His face and even his clothes were bursting with light. But that's not all. Two men named Elijah and Moses appeared next to Jesus. Moses and Elijah were very important people who lived a long, long time ago. They loved God and told others how to follow God. They lived and died many years before Jesus came to earth, but they showed up on that mountain and talked with Jesus. Peter, James, and John had been sleeping, but when they woke up, they couldn't believe their eyes. They saw Jesus shining very brightly next to Moses and Elijah. Then a cloud came down and surrounded them all. And then they heard a voice. It was God. God spoke to Peter, James, and John, saying, "This is my son, whom I have chosen. Listen to him." The disciples always saw that Jesus was different, special, and powerful. That's why they chose to follow him. But now, they knew he wasn't just different. He was the Son of God. It was like they were really seeing Jesus for the very first time. Jesus had always been the Son of God, and he'd been right there with them the whole time, but they just hadn't really seen it until that moment. We might not be able to see Jesus like his friends did, but Jesus is with us even though we can't see him.
Sometimes I wish I could see Jesus the way that the disciples did. But it is so cool to know that Jesus is with us even though we can't see him. It's like the stars on my walls. I can't really see them until I turn all the lights out. But I know that they're there all the time. Jesus always being with me all the time makes me feel calm and safe and... Wait a minute. Maybe... Yep! Sleepy. I actually feel like I can fall asleep now. Thank you, Jesus, for being with me all the time, even though I can't see you. And thank you, friends, for growing and learning with me. See you all next time. Bye.
What did the wall say to the other wall?
Talking walls, eh? Not sure.
I'll meet you in the corner.
All right, let's end with a good one. Why do bicycles fall over?
No idea.
Because they are too tired.
Oh, that one's my favorite today.
It is a good one.
Bye.
See you later, Lily.
Bye. Hey, Journey Kids, we've got a new memory verse. Stand up and follow along with the actions.
Today's memory verse is found in 2 Corinthians 12, verse 9. My grace
is
sufficient
for
you.
My
Power is made perfect in weakness. Great job, guys.
Great job. Keep it up.
This is African Heritage Month. It's a time where we celebrate and remember all of the African Canadians and their communities here in Canada. In 1926, a man named Carter G. Woodson started this kind of a commemoration. But it wasn't until the 1950s that people started to really begin celebrating Black History Month in Canada. And it wasn't until 1985 that it became an official celebration in Nova Scotia. Today, we can celebrate and remember the people in our history who have been part of the African Canadian communities, and we can find out the stories of those who live now as African Canadians and are part of our community, who are our friends, and who are a special and important part of Canada and the church.
Hi, Journey Kids. I brought some friends here with me, Sharon and Lori, and I wanted to have a conversation with them because this is African Heritage Month, and I wanted to get to know them a little more, find out what it was like for them growing up. And yeah, so thank you for coming.
Thank you. Hi, Journey Kids.
So, first I'll ask Sharon, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Jamaica. It's a little island in the Caribbean, a beautiful little island. Lots of beaches, some really nice fruits, and some really wonderful people. So that was where I grew up, yes.
Okay, great. And Lori, where did you grow up?
I grew up here in Canada, but I was born in Jamaica.
Okay. And did you go back to Jamaica to visit there?
A few times I've been back, but not much.
Yeah, okay. And so, Sharon, what's maybe something that you remember growing up as a girl that is a nice memory?
As a girl, I was not a girl, I was a tomboy. So I remember growing up climbing mango trees, playing football. You guys call it soccer here, but back home we call it football, and playing cricket with the boys. So when we were like younger, everybody played together. We didn't have girls doing girl stuff and boys doing boys stuff. I lived on a cul-de-sac, so we used the entire road as a racetrack or a football field as everything. And that to me was a whole lot of fun. So just growing up in that environment, and there was always family around.
Okay, nice. What was your experience growing up here in Canada, Lori?
It was very interesting. Being one of the only visible minorities here, it was hard for me.
And can I just ask, what does that mean, being a visible minority?
Being the only different looking person than everyone else around you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what would be, so your mom talked about kind of all the kids in the neighborhood playing. Yeah. Did you play with the kids in your neighborhood too?
Not as often. Most of them would play with each other. If they wanted to play with me, they would come after they talked to everyone on the street and said, oh, do you want to play? And no one else could play with them.
Mm. Yeah, that's sad. That hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Sharon, what does it mean for you that this is African Heritage Month? Is that important for you? What's something that you think is important for people to remember or think about?
For me, especially being a Christian, I think we should recognize all nationality. And growing up and being aware of slavery, I think a great injustice was done to the African people. Being stolen from their land, brought into another land, and the abuse that was done to them. And it's good to talk about it and to realize that we are all equal. We're all created by God. There's no one better. There is no one worse than us. You know, God created us. He created us in His image. And that is very important to me. And I think that is what gave me the confidence when I came to Canada to survive, because I know I'm not looking up to anyone and I'm not looking down on anyone. I am on the same level. But I think we need to hear the voices of Black people, because so often, and even in the workplace, I was telling Lori on the way over, I've been very, very fortunate. I've never been discriminated against because of my color. I've always been fortunate enough to have, and I think I should say blessed enough, to have good bosses who recognize my ability, and I was rewarded for it. But I know it's not the same with everyone. So I think it's good for us to speak out and to see some of the contribution that African Canadians have made to this society. And there's a lot of contributions that have been made. So we have come to this country, and we came as professional folks, most of us, and we've contributed to the economy of Canada.
Okay, thank you. And Lori, how is African Heritage Month important for you, or what is something that you would like people to remember? Are there any stories that you know of that you thought are interesting I know we were talking about how in Nova Scotia, we know that there were African Canadians who've lived there for a long, long time.
For me, it's more of being aware of that there are different cultures out there, and not being scared to go and maybe talk to someone who might be different than you in either religion, race, whatever it may be, and be able to be like, I want to understand where you come from, instead of just being like, I don't know them, they're scary to me. And just like opening that door to be like, I will accept you and be able to come in and just talk to you and not just turn away or look at them and be like, they're too different for me to come and see.
Yeah, that's very important. So we can all be friends. We
Yep.
can have the same things that we like and dislike, and we can like to play the same games together or read the same books and movies and that kind of thing. Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to share or say to the Journey kids?
I just want to remind us, or remind you, Journey kids, that we're all beautiful. God said He made us wonderful. He made us beautiful. Every single one of us. It doesn't matter what nationality you are. We were created fearfully. The Bible says fearfully and wonderfully made. And that's something I want you to remember. And it's sometimes a little more difficult for someone from a different nationality coming in to just step into your circle. So if you see a child that looks a little bit different and they're standing a little apart from you, sometimes it's nice to walk over and introduce yourself and welcome them into the group. It means a lot to these folks. It means a whole lot.
Well, thank you. I want to thank you for coming and for talking with us and telling us a bit about your life and your story. And so thank you very much.
Thank you for having us, Sharon. Thank you, Journey kids, for having us.
Now that wraps up this week's episode of JKTV and our opposite days. I can't wait to see you all for our next episode, and we've got a whole new theme, so you want to come and find out what it is. All right, see you next week.
Bye!
Bye.
It's not. Whoops. Hey there, you little corn dog nuggets. It's not.
Man, why can't I hit that?
Me. Well.
That's not 3.
Okay, what about gravity?
If gravity were real, would this happen?
Throws up shoe and it hits him on the head. Okay. Just a second while I get my shoe.
What else do you got?
Alright, how about Jesus?
I just gotta say that line again.
Not so normal.
Wait, can you say that again?
Wow, I can just imagine being there.
No, that's wrong.
Can we have an arm break?
Hey, Journey kid. All right, you ready?
Episode 25.